everybody. Butch and
Hi.
Julieann, Hartman here. Welcome to HARTbeat on Healing Journeys today. We're in a different location today. Look, where we are. We're in my room now.
In your office with all your stuff lying on the walls.
Cartoon room. Oh, there's Batman in the garden over there. And there's,
yeah.
Fairly Odd Parents. And there's Danny Phantom behind
all
us.
Kinds of fun stuff.
Yeah, so, as a cartoonist, I like to have a creative atmosphere around me at all times.
Yes.
And I don't know when it's ever going to end. I don't ever see it ending.
I don't think it needs to end. I really do. I can't imagine. I don't know life without this.
What's really weird is everyone.
Should I start a support group?
Maybe you should. Yes.
Men with toys.
Support. Well, these aren't really toys. These are kind of things I've drawn and created.
Okay, men with what? I don't know. Men with stuff.
Well, let me ask you all out there. Well, how do you decorate your room? And is it something your spouse likes?
Oh, forget it. Now you've got some creative people on there. They're going to go nuts.
Exactly.
Telling you what with all their creations.
Well, we want to hear your comments, guys. If you think that we're helping you with these broadcasts, we'd love to hear it, because when we get feedback, it really encourages us, because we want to know, has our little show HARTbeat helped you with your relationship?
Little show. This is a big worldwide.
Yeah, it's a massive conglomerate.
Hey, we're just speaking from our hearts of our marriage, and we're being very, very open and candid and transparent
all
with
those things. Yes.
Everything that we have gone through, stuff that we have actually not gone through because we made a choice not to. Like, there's all kinds of things here, but I want to talk about the Sound Mind Summit, which is December 9th. If you know anybody that struggles with fear, anxiety, phobias, these are phobias are like, I'm afraid to drive on the freeway.
Yeah.
I'm afraid to drive. I'm afraid to fly on airplanes.
I'm afraid to leave my house.
I'm afraid of heights. I'm afraid of leaving my house. Exactly. I'm afraid of speaking in large crowds.
I'm afraid of bugs. I'm afraid of whatever it might be. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything.
Fear is not a good thing.
No, it's not. So anyway, if you know anybody that suffers from that, we are doing a live, in person, 1 day, 10 to 4 conference, December 9th in Calabasas, California. So if you know somebody, please send them to healingjourneystoday.com. And on there is a pop-up of the actual conference, and you can get on there and register. You have to register because we have to know how many people are coming.
Yeah, and the price is $10.
It's $10,
which is nothing.
No, it's nothing, but we need to know that we'll have enough room for everybody. So that's going to be very exciting. And so that's that. And then also we've got, our guest teacher is our pastor, and he's amazing. He's our spiritual dad, Pastor Rich Van Winkle.
Well, he's not at the Sound Mindset. Maybe the guest teacher on Healing.
No, I said, and then.
Got it. Sorry. We're switching subjects, guys.
Yeah. On Fridays for this month, he is our guest teacher, which he's amazing. And we also have a new journey coming up from my friend Debbie Bollinger, who almost died from COVID. But she kind of did die. She said that she was leaving her body. And so it was really cool what God did in her life. So there's that. So let's get to our teaching, which is
being honest with your spouse. We just wanted to touch on this topic because it is the holidays and it is coming up to the end of the year.
Is this the time when I have to confess?
Yes. And what we really want to say is Julieann's got to start being honest with me. That's what this is all about.
Okay. Yeah, I guess about you. Time.
Right. It's about you being honest with me and just letting all the lies. We're just getting rid of all the lies.
Yes.
But think about it, guys. If you're going to be in a relationship with anybody, now is not the time to begin to not tell them the truth about things. Because do you like being lied to? You don't. No. Does anyone out there like being told a non-truth? No, nobody does. So it's very important that we make sure that we're as truthful. Oh, there's Batman over there. Very important that we're as truthful as possible with our spouse. And, the Bible says, love your neighbor as you love yourself. That's Matthew 22:39. If you love yourself, when people be honest with you, don't you want to be honest with your spouse? What are some things you think that you could be more honest with your spouse or significant other? What could you be more honest about? Could you be more honest about your feelings for them? Maybe could you be a little bit more honest about how they should be treating you or about how you should be treating them? We all can grow. And listen, this is not a one and done. You get married, that's it. You get married.
Oh, no.
It's like a guy gets
day one.
Right. A guy gets married and he tells his wife he loves her. And then 30 years later, she's like, do you still love me? He goes, yeah, if it changes, I'll let you know. Like, he never tells her.
No, that's terrible.
Yeah, you need to be honest with people. And even if you don't feel a certain way about someone, be honest about that too. I mean, but there's a difference between honesty and vindictiveness. You don't want to like tell somebody something to hurt their feelings,
Or
like
to manipulate.
or to manipulate. I'm just going to tell you this because that's how I feel, and I think you should be changing all of these things, and I am perfect in every way. We don't want to be that way either.
Yeah,
Like
and
that.
being honest with someone is literally being honest with your feelings.
Mm.
A lot of times we don't like something that our spouse is doing, so we never say anything, but we don't like the result of it. We don't like the outcome of it, but you don't say anything. So how do they know that you don't like something that they're doing? That really is important. I mean, and I know that, it's always like, well, I don't want to hurt their feelings. Yeah, but you're unhappy, right? The spouse is unhappy
Right.
because they think that the person is doing something, but they're not willing to tell them, can we talk about this? Because that really bothers me. It hurts my feelings. It makes me feel insecure, like whatever it might be, right? But if we're not honest and tell our spouse, it's like, I'm expecting you to fix something that I haven't told you bothers me.
Mhm.
And that's kind of silly, right?
In a way, and listen, sometimes things are difficult to hear, and we understand that.
Yes, I think you should speak about that. So when I tell you things, because a lot of times men do find it very hard to hear certain things that maybe the wife is feeling that they're not doing good enough.
Well, yeah, anybody would. Do I tell you a lot of things you're not doing well?
No.
Mm-hmm. So you're doing everything perfectly, apparently.
Well, you don't tell me.
Apparently.
Yes.
Everything's going perfectly.
Yes.
Yeah, see, women are perfect. So is it hard to hear things sometimes? Yes, absolutely. Why are women more honest about it than guys are? I don't know.
How do you handle it though?
How do I handle what?
If I were to say something to you like, hey, I don't like when, I don't know, I don't like this when this happens.
Oh, when a certain day. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
so you're saying that so what happens? It goes into your head, and what happens?
Well, it absolutely, depending on what the issue is, if I really feel that there's something I do need to work on, and I could see why she'd be irritated by that, absolutely, I'll want to change it. If for some reason I think that maybe the situation isn't as bad as as she thinks it's bad, but I don't, the last thing I want to do is go, well, that's ridiculous. She's just doesn't know what she's talking about. I definitely want to learn how to see it more from their side. You want to learn to see it from the other person's side and from their point of view. Because listen, guys, I'm talking to all the men out there. Men are afflicted by pride a lot more than women are. Although, trust me, women have pride too. This is this is not just a man thing. The Bible says pride comes before a fall. That means men and women alike. There's a lot of pride on both sides. And so you really watch out where that pride comes in. And pride is just thinking that you can do it without God. I don't need God. I can do this all by myself. And maybe there's some things you can do on your own. But if your spouse asks you to change something, it could be something minor, it could be something very, very huge, a behavior pattern, a habit, a way you talk, or a way you talk to them. You need to listen. By the way, do you want it to grow, or would you rather lose your spouse and be right, or maybe change a few things and have life get a little bit better? You need to make that decision. What is more important to you, your spouse or you being right? That's something you have to weigh out.
Yeah. And a lot of times, we let distractions get in the way. So we're like, well, it's not that bad. We'll just continue like this. But then, year after year comes and you're very unsatisfied. It's hurtful to you, and it's hard. So the best thing that you can do, it's like a lot of times I listen to like marriage things, not all the time, but just once in a while, just to hear what other people are talking about, and it's just that it's the same thing over and over. Communication. How are you communicating with your spouse? Are you able to communicate with your spouse? Does your spouse just go, look, I don't want to hear it. I'm tired. I've worked all day. I came home. The kids are, I play with the kids. I'm exhausted. I don't feel like dealing with this. So, and I get it, but at some point you're going to have to. You're going to have to deal with it. You are going to have to talk about these things because you can't sweep things under the rug and expect them to be clean, right?
Here's a good question from Barbara Brywick. What do you do if you share with a spouse an issue that bothers you and it's met with a dismissal or ridicule? Do you quit sharing?
Well, that's a tough one.
Well, if you're Julieann Hartman,
No.
I mean, what do you? I mean, listen, what you need to do. Well, you go
Well,
first, and
okay.
I'll hop
So,
on.
no, I mean, I guess sometimes it depends on how you bring it up. If it's in the heat of an argument, probably not the time. But if it's a time where you guys are both just really relaxed and you're having a good time or whatever, you're just like, I don't know, on a drive or you're sitting at the beach or you're sitting, at home or something. But and here's what your spouse is going to say. I don't want to talk about this right now, right? Because it's never going to be the right time for, and I'm just going to say this because I'm a woman and I've never been a man. So I'm just saying because I'm a woman. It's never usually a good time to tell a man anything that bothers you because immediately they want to think that they are your, knight in shining armor. So if they feel that if they've let you down at all, that's very devastating for them. That's why they don't want to hear it. But there's ways of doing it. So before you even bring up the subject, you could say something like this. Hey, there's some things I'd really love to talk to you about. How do you want to go about that? Do you want to just, schedule some time to talk about it? Or do and maybe ask questions that way. So you're not just going, hey, by the way, you're having the best day ever.
Or, oh, you're doing that again?
Yeah.
Or you being mean about things can also, and by the way, your question doesn't say how you ask the question. I'm sure you don't come up in an insulting way, but if you do, you really got to watch how you ask the question, when you ask the question. And the person, this goes to all the people hearing the question, don't respond with anger right away. Don't respond with a roll of the eyes. Don't respond with a what, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I'm tired of hearing this.
We know you're doing your best. We know that you're trying. And I hope you are trying. If you're someone out there that's trying, the spouse should notice that. However, there's things that bother them. Hear them out. Absolutely do your best to adjust. And if it keeps bothering them, but you've adjusted, maybe sometimes they are bothered and don't see that you've changed.
Maybe there's something else that's underlying that they never really got to, or it's something with them. They're just a very angry person. They feel like they never got the break that they wanted in life, or they never had the life they thought they were going to have. There's many reasons why people are miserable in their life.
Her question was, what if it's met with a dismissal or ridicule? That's a tricky one.
Because, right. So that's what I'm saying. So when he says to you, I don't want to talk about this right now. Like what? That's stupid. Who cares? Something like that. But that's when you say, look, these things are real to me and they're in my heart. And as your wife, I would think that you want me to live my best life with you as well. So how do you want to talk about this? How do you want to address the situation? Let me know. Or should we get counseling? Should we get someone in the room, a mediator that can help us talk about those things? Like what is it that would make him feel comfortable? I think that's the best for me. I've never had that happen, but just never done that. But I think that, what's so funny?
What have I never done?
You've never dismissed me.
No, God, try to dismiss this one, see what happens.
No, he never has, honestly. And he is, but also he's not like he's not a pushover either. But we just had to learn how to talk to each other. And that comes from not having an ego on either side. You got an ego about it.
And I would just ask you too, this goes for both people involved in the relationship. If you can bring the emotions down, just bring the emotions down.
And how do you do that, sweetie?
Well, you have to learn how to do that. And believe me, I've had to learn it. And there have been a billion times I really didn't think I did anything wrong or didn't deserve to be asked whatever I was asked or change whatever I was supposed to change. But I've had to go, you know what? I need to change here. This is only going to help me. Yeah. I need to look at this way. It's going to, if I explode right now, or if I start defending myself, because gosh darn it, I need to defend myself. That's going to do nothing but waste time. And you know what? Maybe I can grow. Maybe I can learn. Maybe this can be better. So I've learned, not perfect at all, by the way, but I've learned how to listen a lot better and make those adjustments as well. But it took me learning how to listen. So learn how to listen.
Don't you think though that what I think happens is that it's like it's a different interpretation. You're saying one thing, but he's hearing something else, or he's saying one thing and she's hearing something else. This is a two-way street here, right? So it's like you're saying, I don't like this. Okay, I don't even know what's, I know. Let's say picking up your clothes in the bathroom.
Mhm.
Now, see, I don't have any of these complaints. My husband does not leave anything sitting around. So I
Just
don't.
piles of money. That's all I leave
Right,
sitting
he
around.
just leaves me money all
Piles
the
of
time.
cash everywhere.
But so you're saying like, God, you are just, it's everywhere. You don't put your clothes away. Your closet's a mess. Like I'm always picking up after you. So he might read it as, oh, like all of a sudden he became 7 years old and he's getting reprimanded by his mother. That might be a trigger for him, and that may immediately he's going to get on the defense. So that's why you need to, talk about these things before to say, how do you want me to talk about this?
And doing this is bad too. You know what you need to do? You need to, that's a bad thing.
So when somebody dismisses you and somebody ridicules you in that way, what they're really saying is that I don't know how to deal with this. I don't know how to handle it. So I'm going to put this on you so that I can get out right now and feel better about how you feel about me.
Yeah, when you say it's met with dismissal or ridicule, I don't know what the level of the issue is. I know you're talking about is whatever. I don't know what you're talking to this person about. So, yeah, you have to read each situation. You also have to look at this too, guys. Are you talking to your spouse so much and adjusting so many things that they don't think they can do anything right?
Yeah.
I mean, is there anything good about them at all? Do you compliment your spouse? Do you compliment them? Do you let them know how wonderful they are ever? Or is it always about they need to change and that's
it's so
it?
easy to like,
Oh man,
not think about the good because it's like, well, I don't spend any time thinking about that because it's all good. But when it's bad, like, oh no, you need to fix that. You're like, he's right. There's got to be a balance.
Yeah, and you know what? It also comes down to liking your spouse. I know you love them. You said the vows. You had the big wedding. The dream came true. You're married, and now you're in every day. Now you're in the everyday life, and people are going to do things that might irritate you. You might not agree with. Oh my gosh, she wants you to do that one more time, or he wants you to watch this movie one more time. Whatever it is, if there's a way to find the joy in the situation, please find it because that's honesty too. It's like, I'm not crazy about this, but I'll be honest with you. I'm not crazy about this, but I love you. It's important to you. So I'm going to do this with you. And I'm going to learn how to enjoy it. I'm going to learn how to find the joy in this in some way.
And I hope that answers your question. Do we have one from Alexandra?
We do. This is not so much a question as a comment, I think. Alexander says, both of my exes made me feel like my opinions were never intelligent or informed or whatever. Like I only believe what I believe because I was gullible or something. It was insanely insulting, but of course, he was always right.
Yeah, that happens. And I love the word that you used, my ex-boyfriends. That's not the man for you. You want someone that to love you, to honor you, to cherish you, to put you up on a pedestal, and you do the same for him.
Yep.
That's the man that you're looking for. That's the man that not even that you're looking for. I believe because it says he who finds a wife finds a good thing.
Yep.
I believe that man finds you, and then that it's your husband because of whatever how you guys met. I do believe that honestly and so Alexander, you're so amazing and sweet and beautiful and you've got so much to offer. Do not sell yourself short on this at all.
There's no reason. Yeah, there's no reason to settle, guys.
A lot of times people go like, well, I'm getting older. When am I going to meet somebody? Well,
and that's when fear comes in. And that's when you start panicking and you need to get somebody in your life right away, no matter who it is, so you can look good to all your friends and family.
So you need to come to Sound Mind Summit so we can get rid of all that fear and anxiety.
What is the Sound Mind Summit again?
It's December 9th here in Calabasas. But anyway,
California, it's in person.
Yes.
And we only have a limited number of seats, so register, and it's only $10 to get.
At healingjourneystoday.com. Anyway, but it's here's the thing: whoever you live with, you're going to become. Like you say, like, oh, not you, but people say like you end up looking like your dog because you've been together for a long time. You end up looking like your spouse. You too will think the same way at some point. And you might go, well, oh no, I don't think that way now. But let me just say, just start taking inventory of how you think now. You're going to find yourself, wow, I actually don't think the way I used to. Now my husband and I are really coming into agreement with a lot of things. What is it that you're coming into agreement with? Are things that you actually agree on? Or are you reluctantly coming into agreement with them because you're just trying to keep peace in the house?
I've learned that if you can learn how, I've learned that I can learn. I've learned that if you can become somebody who is, what does the Bible say? Swift to hear, slow to anger. If you can
Yes.
listen first and not get angry. So the reason we get angry, and I know this too, and I still get angry sometimes, and I'm
No way.
trust me, I've been way less angry in the last few
This is
years.
true.
But I've learned to understand, like, look, the anger, it comes from fear. There's a fear there of being inadequate or being wrong or being whatever it could be. But men don't want to appear weak. We don't want to appear like we don't know what we're doing. And so many of us do not know what we're doing. So it's really just hard. But the last thing we need to be is be told. The last thing we need is to be told we don't know what we're doing. You know, couples need to lift each other up. You need to be someone's girlfriend. You need to be someone's boyfriend. That's what you need.
Together. Like, we're doing this together. We should not be
at each other's throats.
You know, Proverbs 12 says, whoever loves instruction loves knowledge, but whoever hates correction is stupid.
Proverbs 12:1.
Yeah.
Whoever loves instruction, that means if you love to be told what, not told what to do, but if you love to learn, it means you love knowledge. But if you hate correction, you're not going to tell me what to do.
That's stupid.
It says you're stupid. It says is stupid. Because let me ask you this. If Jesus Christ showed up and gave you a few pointers about your life, would you want to hear them? Well, you absolutely would. Well, he's Jesus. He knows everything. I'll listen to him. Well, if Jesus is inside of me, you can listen to me as well. Now, listen, mine's obviously coming through my human filter. But if I'm coming to you as a Christian brother, family member that has your best interests at heart, and I have some ideas and thoughts for you, and you've asked me to give them to you. That's the worst too, is when someone asks you. You know, I've met people that deal with maybe, let's say, a substance abuse issue. Mm-hmm. You start being honest with them. You fix this and fix this. We're here to help you. Well, I don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear it because it means they have to change. It means they have to go into a place that is not the comfort zone. And getting out of the comfort zone is hard for people. Hannah here says, how do we be honest when you're scared of their reply? Well,
you're with the wrong person.
Yeah.
I'm not saying if you're married to get a divorce.
Right.
But if you're dating somebody and you're afraid of their response, then you need to get out of that relationship. Mm-hmm. That is not a marriage, or that's not for a marriage. Like, that's not for marriage material. Yeah. Being married. I want to add this.
And you shouldn't be scared of their reply.
No. Proverbs 4:1. Hear, my children, the instruction of a father, and give attention to no understanding. For I give you good doctrine. Do not forsake my law. When I was my father's son, tender and the only one in the side of my mother, he also taught me and said to me, let your heart retain my words, keep my commands, and live. Get wisdom, get understanding. Do not forget nor turn away from the words of my mouth. Do not forsake her, and she will preserve you. Love her, and she will keep you. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom, and in all you're getting, get understanding.
So wait, you're reading Proverbs 4.
Yeah, now I went to Proverbs 4. But this is what
so you guys know, that was Proverbs 4.
Yes, we need the wisdom. We need the understanding. We need the knowledge. We need all of those things. And Proverbs is full of this. He tells us all the time in Proverbs how much we need that. We need knowledge. We need wisdom. We need understanding. And the wisdom he's talking about is not the wisdom of the world. It's the wisdom of the kingdom. It's the wisdom of the Father. It's the wisdom when the Father is speaking to you and telling you. That is what the wisdom is.
I'd like to ask you, well, I don't want to get my wisdom from the Bible. Well, then where do you get your wisdom?
Yeah, you'll get it from the world.
You'll get it from the world, and you're going to find that not all the world's wisdom is right.
No.
And the only way to get wisdom is to search for it. It's to search for it. It says, the Bible even says, and it's in Proverbs, wisdom is better than silver. And I guarantee if I told you there was a $2,000 silver coin in this room, we'd be searching for it right now.
Or in your house right now that we planted.
Exactly. Well, guys, look, we got to go.
Yes.
We love you. Now, next week in America here, it's Thanksgiving. So what are you thankful for? We'll be talking about that next week. But we're so grateful you guys came to see us here on HARTbeat on Healing Journeys today. Don't forget the Sound Mind Summit, December 9th, here in Calabasas. It's live with Dr. Kevin Chapman.
There is not going to be a live feed. So just
Won't be a live feed, won't be a live stream. We'll record it, but really encourage you to be there. Make the effort, get out to get to meet all of us. We'll all be there too. We can't wait to see you. We love you. Have a blessed rest of your week.
Bye-bye.